Britain is renowned for its forests, and yet in Flight Simulator, due to how it works, some of our terrain and beautiful landscapes are rather flat. Flight Simulator still captures some of the beautiful Victorian architecture that we have, however, right next to motorways, which is depressingly very true to life, I'm afraid, but it's okay because then we go back to a beautiful golden field. Located in the picturesque county of Oxfordshire, Kidlington is a beautiful airfield. Like many airfields in the United Kingdom, it is not particularly grand in scale, and is one that you might even drive past without even realising there is an airfield there. These airfields are currently represented in the base game as generic landing strips, often just compiled with a singular runway and not particularly much else. And that's where this freeware by Ben Dree, it's on the screen in case I've said it wrong, which I probably have, comes into hand. This beautiful piece of freeware can be downloaded from MSFS add-ons and adds buildings, working ramps with ground crew, all for the low price of £0 and £0. For that reason alone, I would say you should add it just so you could have the quaint British airport experience. In real life, this airport isn't the busiest and is actually in, sadly, a decline. But why don't you jump into it in Microsoft Flight Simulator and bring the airfield back to life?
Delaware Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha pushback request accepted. Oxford ground Delaware Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left.
Whilst we are taxiing down, why don't we have a look at some of the features of this airfield or airport or however you want to call it, Kidlington Airport, and compare them to what it was meant to have. So let's start with ground crew. We've already seen the ground crew in action and they work incredibly well. There is an issue with alignment. You won't have seen it so much in this video, but essentially it looks like in some of the ramps you're slightly mispositioned. You're a bit further forward and to the left or right, which means that when they're trying to attach your front wheel, it doesn't quite go in properly and they sort of go into the aircraft. That's a very minor point. It doesn't really ruin much for me. I guess it's just a point towards immersion, I guess, more than anything else. The airport has a really gorgeous looking feel to it, which is definitely what it was going for. It was going for that smaller, pretty countryside sort of feel that a lot of the smaller airports in the UK have. This doesn't have the grandiose of a capital city or even most large international airports. This is a small civil, really it's for internal flights that this airport exists, and to be honest I think it looks fabulous now. It's another place where if I'm flying around I think, hey, I can just drop down there and it will look beautiful, because it is rather disheartening sometimes when you land and it's just a landing strip and nothing more. If I was paying for this, I guess sort of on the lower end of the spectrum it would probably be fine, but the fact that this is freeware means it's absolutely brilliant. If you haven't yet had any freeware experience in Flight Simulator, this is a really good example of how it can just amplify what you're already experiencing. For a lot of people, Flight Simulator is flying from your local airport or exploring smaller airports you never thought you would ever visit. And this means you can do it and actually visit the airport rather than visiting a rather hollow presentation of it. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate the reasons why Flight Simulator does this, and it's a fantastic game. But little additions like this that cost nothing add absolutely everything.
Sierra Golf, Sierra Alpha. Continue for south departure. I will contact you next when you leave my airspace.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Link to the Discord in the description below.